The IADD Pillar Award is meant to recognize individuals who have unselfishly shared their knowledge and time for benefit of others and of the association. Their many contributions are what embody the IADD's existence. This award is meant to be an award for those who have served the IADD over a period of time and have been nothing short of a pillar to our existence as an association. When I asked this year's recipient how he got started in the industry, he shared that he had worked on weekends and through summers during his teenage and college years at his father's shop. He says this was mainly to keep out of his mother's hair. But by doing this, he experienced just about every position in his company. He found his forever home, or his forever role, however, in sales when he reluctantly agreed. At that time, he felt he was going to be a dead-end job for him, but now admits that he could never have been more wrong. In truth, this was the role he was meant for. It allowed him to communicate with so many people and to take his involvement in the industry and association to another level. His volunteer career began by attending the meeting in the Mid-Atlantic chapter, where he joined on as a chapter officer and served as secretary-treasurer. He expanded his involvement in the association in multiple ways. In 1996, he wrote and submitted a seminal article for specialty cutting rules that was deemed so informative it was later included in the IADD's book on recommended specifications and standards, which he also served as a committee member when it was compiled in 2009. In addition to that committee, he also served on the safety committee and exchange committees, to name a few more. He's done the annual meeting presentation in October 2003 on ISO specifications in Niagara Falls, as well as serving on the panel for multiple discussions at Odyssey Expos. In May of 2011, he was on steel rule bevels, coatings, and pointage. In May of 2015, he did challenge the experts, or as he may say, challenge the gurus. In May 2012, he authored an article for the Cutting Edge entitled Specialty Rules Solve Die Cutting Problems. He was voted onto the board of directors as our director in sales and marketing in 2015. In 2017, he was promoted to VP on sales and marketing, only to graciously accept the demotion back to director in 2019, and on account of yours truly. Sorry and thank you. It is in this position that we rely heavily on his unmistakable voice. It's a voice you can hear coming from a mile away, and a voice we are beyond lucky that he has chose to use to help spread and promote news of our events and our association. Whether he's in person, on a phone call, or sharing with his email footers, he's always keeping his ever-expanding network up to date with association news. And it's with these efforts that we've been able to have the success we have at our events. He's helped promote our magazine, The Cutting Edge, like no other. He's gifted subscriptions to people who have never heard of us before, people that are now members because of him. I'd like to share some words with our immediate past preds, Gino Gualtieri. It's people like him who make it worthwhile to be a member of the IADD and to participate on a regular basis. Even if it were only by his friendly demeanor and welcoming attitude, he exemplifies what it is to be part of an industry association whose mission is to bring value to members by sharing information, networking, and being relied on for support. His father once told him a long time ago that there's much more to people's lives outside of their business, and you have no idea about how it is always great to get out and network and share our experiences with others. This year's recipient took those words to heart and undoubtedly makes his father proud, following in those footsteps in his own unique and lovable style. This year's IADD Pillar recipient is a man who has undoubtedly helped us all out at least a time or two. A man I've worked closely with for the past 20 years, but I've had the great honor of working side by side for the past 5 years. A man who, because of this, stepped down as VP back to director so that I could your lady drugs. He is a proud grandpa of 3 that loves nothing more than riling up his grandchildren and handing them back to his beautiful daughter Lauren, who's here to celebrate him tonight. A man who I've learned so much from throughout the years, but none of the lessons I've learned from him are more important than the one I'm going to share with you now. His last name is pronounced like biology. Congratulations, David Bialoglow. Congratulations to our dear, kind, sweet David. We're so very proud of you and the amazing person that you've become. Mom and I are so sorry that we're not here with you today to share in this special occasion, but please know that we are thinking of you and we love you so very much. And for crying out loud, please get a haircut.
I knew there was a caveat.
Better-looking younger sister, Beth Ann, and Mom.
Oh.
From the plaque as well. We've got from the plaque. In appreciation, David Bialoglow, National Seal Rule, for generously sharing his knowledge and expertise in numerous leadership roles to foster outreach, connection, and technical information for the association and industry. Congratulations, David.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Oh,
Just started. I would promise you that I would be brief and I would keep it G-rated, but you ain't gonna believe me anyway, so we're not gonna even try. On behalf of myself, I would like to, show my sincere gratitude for receiving this award. On behalf of my doctor, he would like to thank you because I had to lose some weight to fit in that suit, so he's very happy too. I actually had gotten this notification. It's funny, when you work with somebody, you really don't, you think you could communicate a lot more, but our lives get so busy, we always get tied up in something. And I was just driving on my way home, and then she called me, and I'm like, oh, what did I forget? What happened? Oh, I didn't get a chance to see you. Just you got the Pillar Award and all that. And I was like, damn. I said, geez, I had to look this up. So I went onto our website, IADD.org. There's your shameless plug. And I had to look up to see if any Bialoglow ever won this award before. And it turns out I'm one. First one ever on there. And it's amazing. To all the ones that did serve in this industry, of course I got to start with my mother and my father. My mother was our first bookkeeper, which a lot of people don't know that over there. In fact, she used to watch me when I was about 3. I tried to help a little bit, I was pretty good with the numbers and all that. She raised me for checks, but if there were people that didn't do what they were supposed to, this is where I learned my New Jersey accent and all that Sophie language, so it started over there. She was our original bookkeeper over there along with my father. My father always felt, that, he wasn't always there for us because he was trying to get the business going. And as I got older, I understood. I said, that's just what you do, Even in his final days, I remember, I always felt like, I wish he would have retired and did what he loved, but this is what he loved. He could have. He absolutely had no, point. I think my mother and him had an agreement that he'd go to work anyway, so that's why they were married over 50 years. So anyway, I did make a promise to my mother that I would take the award and go visit him. So I will try to say the mission was accomplished. I know the debate, so you got to show it. You got to bring it over there. That, he would love to have seen that. So other ones that had worked in our industry, my sister Beth Ann, it was kind of funny. She came on a little bit later. Like most people, they had other plans than they get to this industry. I don't think any of us really did what our life intended. We thought we were going to do. I don't think any of us did that, really, now that I think about it. And you know, I remember she came in a little later. My father was saying, you know, it's a little bit of a late arrival. I don't know if it's, you know, if I'm doing you dirty or anything. And I'm like, you know, I've seen so many people with siblings, and I'm like, I'm never going to fight over anything like that, please, and all that. And it turns out she's probably doing more than me now. Anyway, so you don't have to tell her that. I've also had an Uncle Marty who also worked for us for quite a while there. He was definitely an interesting character over there. It was like he kind of liked to get under people's skin, and if you had a personality trait, he would dig on it. And my father, you know, said there's always one in every generation. They never told me who was that in my generation. I don't know who they meant on that, so still haven't figured that part out over there. But he had worked with us till he passed away in 2001, and Ben is listening over there. We love you, Ben. My family has gone through it, and I've lost 2 family members to that. So we're very, it's very close to our heart. It did hurt when I heard the news. Also, I have to mention my cousin Robert, who, as you knows, is one of my favorite targets over there. He used to be built like a Greek god, and he's nothing like that now. You know about it. So it's always been a pleasure working. He's been very instrumental in a lot of things we do. So there's been 150 years of service for the Bialoglow, so I'm glad to finally have our name on the IADD website now. Again, there are a lot of people I would have to mention at work, again, but I have to mention the Mucci family, of course. I'd be remiss if I didn't over there. Eddie's father was a very wise man, both of them. They were very basic in their beliefs, but to this day, everything they tell me rings true. He used to say, never volunteer information. My father used to say, never give importance to unimportant things. And you could actually live on those 2 sayings right over there. And then I had met Eddie. We've actually indirectly known each other our whole lives. And Eddie's been very supportive of me. And we've got a very interesting relationship. It's kind of almost like your own kid, where you can say whatever you want. God forbid anyone else says something about me. I know that for a fact. As somebody goes, yeah, I was really annoyed at you, and I went to Eddie, and I was like bad-mouthing you, and he jumped right down my throat. I said, yeah, only he can say stuff about me, so that ain't gonna work, so don't even try that over there. So, again, I've had a lot of people in the 40 years that we did work with that, and just too many to mention over here, and again, I'm just thankful for all their support, which I will, when picture time comes, send that out. As far as the IADD goes, we were just talking about that, and sorry, Derek, I appreciate you being here because I'd be the tribal elder right now in the boardroom. He's got me beat by 1 year of experience. But when I was 19, we went to our first meeting. It was in Scottsdale, Arizona. And needless to say, my eyes were about this big. I was actually legally old enough to drink in Arizona, but not New Jersey. They were just bringing it to 21. So I was really nervous. I didn't want to say anything stupid, didn't want to say anything in line because everybody was older. And it's funny, the younger ones say that to me now. And I'm like, don't worry, the problem will solve itself, trust me. Before you know it, you're going to be the elder. But Bob Manning was somebody I kind of knew indirectly. I only knew a few people. I would try to spark up some conversation. So, you know, I knew he just had moved to Minnesota, not knowing he was, to put in perspective, he was an avid golfer, and he came from the Tennessee area, I believe. So I just went up to him, and I said, oh, how do you like Minnesota? He just looks at me, oh, it sucks. I was floored. I fell on the floor, like, I did not expect that, but that was my first lesson I ever got at the IADD. First, it was a very important one. Be yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. You never have to fake it in front of people. You're always yourself. So anyone coming up, I always give them that same advice. Just try to be yourself. It's like being a liar. Never lie. You don't have to remember that lie down the road. So again, I thank all of you for being here and sharing with us. You are my industry family. I've known a lot of you a long time. And I knew we had to get out of here by 8 o'clock, so I'm going to cut it short. So thank you.